I feel like this is more racist than them putting the black guy in charge of housing, urban, and development. Okay, like, you're gonna put the Latino man in charge of literally everything else. Yeah, give the Latino man 4 jobs. Sure. Do you think they had like a diversity quota? Like we need more diverse. It can't just only be that one black guy and Tulsi Gabbard, okay? And the gay guy and Scott Besson, okay? It can't just be them. We need some more. We need mi gente Latino. I'm joking, but they literally gave him a DEI award, okay? This is the administration that ended DEI, and they gave him the Congressional Hispanic Leadership Institute Gala Award. My official theory is that this is some type of like masochistic, cucked out, like this is some type of punishment for Marco. This is, Marco, you should not have run against me in 2016, okay? Now I'm gonna make you a witness to all of the fallout of my insane administration. What's that? Elon Musk just absolutely fucking destroyed the global reputation by nuking USAID. Marco, go! What's that? The archivist wants to pass the ERA. Marco, go! What's that? Mike Walsh just added the fucking editor-in-chief to a group chat and exposed like the greatest national security breach in American history. Marco, go! Do you guys know that one black woman that Donald Trump like brings to all of his photo ops to show that he has the support of black people? It's like the same one black woman that gets paid to go to every photo op with him.
I don't care what the media tells you, Mr. Trump. We support you.
We love you.
Okay, 4 p.m. We've been 4 p.m.
Come here, let me give you a...
This woman who has like a fucking like conserve the culture, like very like Candace Owens, like red pill, that type of conservative, and they're making it seem like it was a natural, I don't care what the media says about you, Donald Trump, I love you. That's literally exactly what they're doing with Marco. It's just so lazy. Like, it's so lazy. My first job was at a pizzeria, and I got promoted to serving within like 2 weeks of me working there. I started as like just taking takeout orders, and at first I thought it was because I was such a hard worker. I was like, wow, like I'm doing so well on the phones that they just need me doing more. Like they just want to promote me so bad. I eventually realized that it's because they were shit managers that had such a quick turnaround rate that they couldn't keep anyone long enough to train them to serve. So it had to be someone that was already loyal and in the company and had some type of, you know, ground roots in there. So I don't know, there's a parallel in there somewhere. Donald Trump is treating Marco Rubio like a 14-year-old girl at a pizzeria. That's the parallel. I can't help but look at this and just like assume that it is punishment for running against him in 2016. Like, you tried to warn America what would happen. You actually foresaw it, and you foresaw it too well that now I'm going to make you front seat witness and actually blame you for all of the dipshittery that's about to go down. This was Mr. Rubio merely a decade ago.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I can just tell you that a con artist is about to take over the Republican Party and the conservative movement, and we have to put a stop to it. And part of it is, look at the report you guys just did. Donald Trump last night had no answers on the issue of health care, and if you listen to that report that just led into this, the media is pumping him up as some sort of unstoppable force. Donald Trump has portrayed himself now consistently as fighting for the working people, and he has a record of sticking it to working people for 35 years. If any other candidate in this race had his record, there would be nonstop reporting on it. But unfortunately, he's being pumped up because many in the media with a bias know that he'll be easy to beat in a general election. So we're going to put a stop to it now. There is no way we are going to allow a con artist to take over the conservative movement, and Donald Trump is a con artist.
It's actually really sad how many, like, wow, it's really just been like the same thing going on for like the past 10 years. Like, he still doesn't know shit about healthcare. He still doesn't know shit about any, like, it's the same fucking, oh my gosh.
I bet you all know, you all have friends that are thinking about voting for Donald Trump. Friends, do not let friends vote for con artists.
And this, in many ways, not just Chicago, put that aside for a moment, the broader anger that now exists in the American political discourse is a direct result of the fact that words have consequences. That when you run for president of the United States, or if you are president of the United States, which everyone is endeavoring to be, you can't just take on the attitude that I'm going to say whatever I want. You can't say whatever you want. It has real life consequences consequences for people in this country and all over the world. And we're starting to see her bear out. You saw those images last night of people getting in their face, often.
Most of America I don't have an issue with because they just don't know any better. Like, I can't blame them. You genuinely just don't know any better. You don't even know how many branches are in government. I don't expect you to know that we used the Alien Enemies Act against Japanese in World War II completely legally, and it was still the ugliest stain on American history. I don't expect you to know all that. But Marco, you know better. This is also why I hate Ben Shapiro so much. Like, Ben Shapiro, you know better. Marco, you know better. You guys know better. You know, you're competent. You have the knowledge in your brain. You're just choosing not to apply it. Do you think he has these, like, posted up on his fridge or something? Like, absolute cuck. Marco Rubio passed in the Senate with, like, a unanimous vote. He's probably the most rational person in this administration. And I honestly don't have that big of an issue. I don't have any issue with him having these 4 roles. I think it's very funny. But if this were any other point in American history and there was one official with 4 roles, like, there's so many other things that are going on in this admin that it's just like, it's just such a non-issue. It's such a non-thought of like, oh yeah, duh, he has 4 roles. Can we just sit and think about how many different conflicts of interest and fucking overlapping conflicting parties and moving parts are going on in 4 roles? 4 roles that are also like pretty like conflict of interesty with each other, like USAID with foreign countries, Secretary of State with foreign countries, national security with foreign countries, then the archivist, like, okay. His first role, he was confirmed as Secretary of State, right? 99 votes. Yes, slay. We were all looking forward to it, okay? Then Elon Musk fucks up Doge. Donald Trump doesn't know how to cover it up in an optics perspective, I guess. And so in February, early February, February 3rd, Donald Trump makes Marco Rubio the acting head for USAID. Now this one makes sense, okay, because they said that they're gonna integrate USAID into the Secretary, into the Department of State. So that makes a little bit of sense, okay? Marco Rubio is gonna oversee the enveloping of USAID into the State Department, okay? Very quickly after becoming the acting director of USAID, he then became the acting archivist of the National Archives and Records Administration. This is an administration that oversees federal records compliance and records related lawsuits, as well as reporting violations of the Federal Records Act. So you have the Secretary of State also acting as the administrator of USAID, who also is acting as the oversight of federal records of the state and of USAID. So if Marco Rubio fucks up in the records for the State Department, he reports it to Marco Rubio in the Archivist Department. And then Marco Rubio reprimands Marco Rubio in the State Department from Marco Rubio in the Archivist Department. But then if the Marco Rubio in the USAID Department fucks up, then he has to tell the Marco Rubio in the State Department, who has to tell the Marco Rubio in the Archivist Department. Does that make sense to everyone? Does that? And now, most recently, due to multiple Signal chats and the fact that we don't want to fire Pete Hegseth, we want to fire Mike Walls, Marco Rubio is now acting as the National Security Advisor, replacing Mike Walls. This now makes Marco Rubio the first person to ever hold 4 official positions at the same exact time. But now he is not only the Marco Rubio that reports to the other Marco Rubio when Marco Rubio fucks up the records, but he's also the Marco Rubio that comes up with the national security plans to be implemented to the Marco Rubio in the State Department. So the Marco Rubio as the NSA advisor, as the advisor for the National Security Council, is getting all of this intel and then reporting it to the Marco Rubio of the Secretary of the State Department to act on foreign policy. But it's the same Marco Rubio, and now he's just overseeing all of the National Security Council and all of the State Department. And that's just fine. That's just fine that the same guy that's getting all of the information to make policy is also making the policy, is also acting as the final arbiter to check over all of the records of that policy and make sure that that policy is getting enacted correctly. It's all fine. It's not corrupt, and it's not bureaucratic, and it's not the deep state, and it's just little Marco, bro. It's just little Marco.
You said thank you once.
First of all, thank you for those kind words. I'll have more to say about that in a
moment. I'm, of course, also happy that my wife, Jeanette, is here. This Lifetime Achievement Award or Lifetime Leadership Award is a little scary because it's like, that's it, you're over, it's done. Usually they give it to you at the end, because you don't know what I'm going to do the next 3 years. Maybe you want the award back in a couple of years if things don't work out.
What is he foreshadowing? I don't know. What is he foreshadowing? DEI hire.
Retarded.
Thank you.